Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Hello Africa, welcome to Womanity Africa on TOS Television Network. On Womanity Africa, the goal is to set an agenda for the African woman while breaking stereotypes. Honestly, what should it be really for a woman living in Africa? My name is Ruel Penawa. I did say we earlier, and that is because I won't be hosting the show by myself. I have my co-host here.
I'm Cynthia Iteko. As women, especially African women, we have our work cut out for us. From having to balance a career to juggling family and even finances, they are always a big challenge to the African women. Here on Womanity Africa, we'll be bearing it all. We'll focus on all aspects from everyday living to everything else in between.
Now to our discussion for today. We're looking at the life of two categories of African women. First, a career wife and mom, and second, a single woman building a career. As Africans, it is expected that as a wife or mom, your life should revolve around your family. And even while you're a single woman, you're expected to a large extent to be a bride and mom in waiting. So there are extreme stereotypes and challenges surrounding the African woman. And that is what we will be addressing right here. To help us do that, we have wife and mom, Joy Chinemerem, who is a serial entrepreneur and the MD CEO of MJ Group. And also we have Mercy O, who is a PR and communications consultant, owner of a public relations and brand communications agency. It's such a delight to have you both on the show.
Thank you for having us.
We're actually intentional first about knowing what a typical day is for you. Like as a mom and wife running a career, as a single lady running a career, what's a typical day a day in the life for you first, Joy? Okay,
actually, I wake up very early in the morning. Okay. Though I have a lot of people that work for me, but if I am not there, nothing goes successfully. But first, before I started my business, I searched for a job after my service. But I realized that in the labor market, they see married women like people that are not, they feel we are committed if we get the job, okay, but they also feel we are not dedicated.
Wow.
Because we will not stay like a longer hours like a single person without a child would, or a husband. And they also feel we will not have passion for the job. Wow. Because our minds will be divided. So definitely they don't really consider married women. So I just thought to myself, why not just go into business, because I've always been a businesswoman, but I was not an entrepreneur, so why not just take this serious and become an entrepreneur? So I started my business. I ran some courses. When my business started, my husband has been so supportive, actually. I feel a married woman that doesn't have a supportive husband cannot do well. Yes, and I also feel it boils down to the individual. Because married women in society, they don't consider them worthy of being successful. They feel it is the men that have to be more successful. Exactly. So that is why I said it has to do with individuals. Okay. Not like different people with their own personality. My personality, I'm capable of doing more than 5 things at once.
Wow.
Yes. So I make sure I wake up early, prepare lunch, breakfast, take my son to school, go to my stores, hold meetings, go to different organizations to submit my proposals. So it's always not easy for me, but not giving up has made me come this far.
Okay, so you just give us your profile as a chef, CEO and all that. Mercy, I want to know, what's a typical day like for you? Tell me.
Okay, well, like you said, single people are also stereotyped somehow, like they look at us as we don't have responsibilities. So like Joy mentioned, yes, that's like one of the biggest stereotypes. Like she mentioned something about when it comes to working a 9 to 5 and they look at you like, oh, you don't have responsibilities, so why can't you work for longer hours? Yeah. So for me, aside running 9 to 5s, like I've been building my own brands on the side. I have 2 separate businesses. So one of them is tied to, you know, what I do for a living, because my public relations firm I'm a communications and PR person normally. So regardless of what it is, it's remote for me. I can do a lot from just phone calls, emails, like just not being there. Physical meetings, I can fix when it's convenient. But my other business is different. It's something that it's also a service business, but it requires a lot of running around, putting things together. She mentioned something about having staff, but if you're not at the forefront, it's crazy. So I can be I wake up in the morning, go to work. My break time, I probably don't even have break times most times, because I have to now, this is the time I have in the middle of the day that I can breeze in, breeze out to do a little comeback. When I'm closing from work, I have to go and attend to something before I get home. So it's like, if I'm expected to work extra hours, how am I supposed to now, be able to balance some of these things? And then one of my offices that I worked in, our HR was all these single people said, what do people do? Like they want you to come work on Saturday and Sunday, because they're like, it's not like you're doing anything. And that's a very bad stereotype. Yes, because they look at us like, you're not doing anything. Then talking about being a single person, there are disadvantages. Like for them married people, they will say, these people are, how did you describe it again? Committed but not dedicated. Yes, because they look at married people to have a certain level of expertise and also knowledgeable people, something like that. But then they look at the single ones to be like, these ones are just, they are all over the place. They don't have serious responsibilities. They don't know what life is about. They're just, and that's why they're always like, all these young girls, you people should be thinking of how to get married. I have a HR that will always like Monday meetings. She's always like, so whose wedding is next now? So the thing is that they just look at women to be like, if you're a young girl, you're done with school, you're already working. To them it's like, you're supposed to be thinking in that manner. We want to eat rice in the office, so like that kind of thing. So they just look at us like we're not serious people, basically. It's like responsibilities are always there, but we're just looked at as people that don't have anything to do aside come to work in the morning. When you close, you close. You're not even, they don't even want you to even close to start with. Exactly.
Okay, over to you, Joy. It's amazing when I talk about that moms that work are superhumans and multitasking. So like, I'm asking that how do you balance it from family to work and your society?
Is there actually a balance?
Important question.
There is no balance. It just, like what I do is, I have a PA that schedules my activities for me, you get. So he makes sure that, today if we have a meeting for Monday, that we can move to Wednesday in order for us to meet some certain activities that have to do with family. We'll do that. But if it's something that we can't, I think there was a time I had a call to come to Lagos to submit a proposal for Thursday, and I was called on Tuesday. And you know that my son goes to school, I don't have any help in the house, it is just me. So I started thinking of what to do. So I just called my mom and she said, she can't call me, the notice is too short. So I told my husband and he said, okay, no problem, he won't go to work that Wednesday and Thursday so that I can quickly go to Lagos. So I went to Lagos in the morning, but before going I had to go to my office and make sure that I gave everybody their tasks, told them what to do. I didn't even actually tell them I was traveling because I know they will not work if I am not around. So I traveled on Thursday and I came back on Friday morning by 6 a.m. I took the first flight. And from the airport, I went straight to the office again. But immediately after, I went home. And sometimes what I do is, if I know I'll be busy throughout the week, I make sure I provide everything for the family during the weekends. Even on Sundays, sometimes I might be called to go out. So any little break I have, I make sure I channel it. I think that is the reason why everybody around me calls me a superwoman, because I hardly have time for myself. If it is not my business work, it will be my family.
That's amazing. One thing that stood out for me was when you talked about having a PA. That thing stuck for me because everybody needs help. And also, how I can relate that to you is, you talked about taking breaks sometimes. What is your escape?
How do I de-stress?
Yes, how do you de-stress?
I would say I found, balance by having a team, because I started this strategy of fire and hire. So if you stress me,
Wow.
yeah.
That's
no, honestly, not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
yes.
Not in a bad way, because I used to be I'm very compassionate with people.
Yeah.
Like nice, like I can give somebody like, up to 7, 8, 10 chances just because, okay,
That's a
sorry,
lot.
you're a human being. I always try to look at things from, okay, what if it was me? So it's like, you're human, you can make mistakes or whatever. But then like this particular person stressed me, and now I've become very, observant of things like this. It's like, if you stress me too much, hire and fire, because
Single
yes.
boss lady.
No, trust me, it will save you a lot.
Yeah.
Then yes, just finding other ways to relax. If it's yoga, having a social life, going to the gym, or even just food. Some people just find comfort in eating, stress eating. So
Stressful.
yeah, that works for me sometimes. Like all I want to do is just eat and sleep, and I'm okay. So yeah.
What is it like for you personally as being an African woman? What pressure do you face from the community, from society?
I don't even know where to start.
I think there's a lot.
It's a lot because, okay, let me even start from the family one, which is similar to general people. So yeah, I think a major stereotype is tying a particular title to a girl. So it's like, if you're not here yet, then you're not successful. Or even with the guys, their parents that would be like, when are you bringing her? That kind of thing. So I say both genders, we face the whole stereotype of settling down. But for a girl, people don't believe that a girl can be successful on her own. She can run businesses. Now, Seth, it's like, okay, business is what they are using to cover up. There's always one man somewhere that's paying, but they'll be using business to say everybody's for me, they are doing business. That's very bad.
Yeah.
But when it's a guy hustling, like, no, this guy is very hardworking, we know what he does. But if it's a girl, like a woman that is being involved in something like this, there's always that, I beg you, how do you know? Do you know the backstory? Why do people always have to think that for a girl to be doing so well on her own, there is a backstory? Then when it comes to being independent, like living on your own, paying bills and all that, there's this whole family people will tell you, it's not good though, you're chasing them, or like you're intimidating the guys, that kind of thing, that they will see you and be like, what can I offer this one again? Remember, there are so many things you can offer me, just come and ask. So yeah, they look at you like, they're going to look at the parents from the guy's side, probably will look at you like you're a loose person, or you're not responsible. Why? Just because I'm independent or living alone or paying bills. It's like, no, a girl is not supposed to be that free. She will not be submissive in marriage.
Wow.
Trust me, like there's a lot. And me, I'm somebody that started my career like really early, because before I graduated, like I already started doing like this whole internship thing. Like I didn't wait till I was done, finish NYSC. I actually started really early. So yes, I get a lot of, you are too fast. You're actually going faster than your mates. People will look at you and be like, oh, that's why you're looking older than your age. You're doing things that your age mates have not done. That kind of thing. So yeah, they try to slow you down because they feel like a man will not be able to level up. And I don't think that is even right, because these days guys are even more attracted to to women that are doing their own. Everybody wants support systems. Nobody wants to be a liability to anybody. And then there was something I wanted to say. It's about this whole it's about the whole stereotype around being a girl, finishing school, doing your own thing. So they just believe that you should not even do some things for yourself. There was something I wanted to do last year. I told my mom, my aunts, like I think it was a family. When you're just gisting with family, and I just brought it up. I don't even know who sent me. And then the next day, my uncle was like, "Why? Better remove that thought from your head. Instead of you to think of getting married, so your husband will do it for you."
Every time.
And then after that, I just stopped. And then we look at you like, this one will not tell us anything. Why would I tell you when all you do is to look for a way to tie it to one man, that kind of thing. So yes, it makes us very, just do your thing, man. Like just do your thing. And then it's not nice that every time they have to tie a guy. Even if he's not tying a guy to you, like, okay, you should be thinking of settling down. It is the fact that you're not doing something on your own. There's one man somewhere that is doing it. So I think it's really bad, because a lot of girls are now pushed to, why would I do it when they will not believe me? Let me just go the easy way. It's very discouraging for the ones that are now really genuine and true to themselves, like wanting to build their own businesses, build a career. And then, as a single woman, working in a corporate place that isn't well disciplined, there are so many disadvantages. Especially when, yes, that's why I said corporate organizations that are not disciplined, because there is that sexual harassment type of thing. They just look at you, you know, for married people, like somebody that has a child now, you will not want to, you know, that this one
go
is
through it, my
I
dear.
know they go through it, but
There's just this.
when you get a job, Steph, even just having that job, there are people that will look at you like, how did she get that job? It's not a man that puts her there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's too much. Like, there are so many things. And then when you now get there, there's already, just imagine going to work, you're trying to even deal with your own life and everything else that is not even related. And then you now have to deal with office wahala that includes that. Like, you know,
It's too much.
it's a lot.
Okay, talking about the harassment, now I see the reason why some career young women go get a ring for themselves just to cover up.
Yes,
I've seen
apparently,
that
I
before.
recently just even heard about
I've seen
that.
that kind of thing before.
I
Yeah.
recently just heard about that. And then there are companies that are now talking about stereotype. There are companies that want to hire young single girls. Have you seen all these job adverts where they put young, single? They even put a particular age
Yeah,
and
be
complexion for
specific.
some
Yeah, and
people.
complexion.
They now feel
Yeah,
like
yes.
they can use young
Some-
girls to make money for their companies.
Yes,
Something
yeah.
that they call marketing. They've even
Strategies
changed
and
the
all
name
that.
now to business analyst. or
Development.
something. I'm telling you. So
I've
it's
heard
like,
of things, yes.
there's so many things that we go through. Like, you're being hired for a job, even if you're good at what you do, they're looking at you for something else. Like, this one looks the part. Thank God we have this one in the office. I've been in the office before, and I think a client's proposal came through, and it's like, who will we send now? Let them see somebody that will just make them not change their mind. They can't even imagine that type of thing. They'll not tell you, why didn't you wear makeup today? Now, do you know if we want to send you somewhere?
Wow.
So it's really like, it's a lot. It's a whole lot, and I feel like it's really unfair. Women are going through it.
This
Like,
is a lot to take in, but I'm also really, really interested in knowing what stereotypes, apart from the idea of people thinking that you won't be committed and all that, what other stereotypes do you go through as a woman that's married and you're trying to still juggle a career?
People will always feel that as a married woman, you're supposed to be at home and take care of your family. In fact, there was a day I traveled. So after my job, I went out with my friends. So we went to the beach to have fun. Then we posted it online, and somebody called my husband and said,
Wow.
I thought your wife is somewhere working. What is she doing in this beach? Look at how she's dressed. Like, he called me and I was like, look, this is what they said. And I said, God. So people still think this way.
So in
Even
2021.
sometimes in my office, when they want to send a representative. Okay, they picked me one time and my boss was not aware. So when she found out it was me, she called the supervisor and she was shouting at him that why would you pick a married woman? Then she collected, like, she told him to give me the phone. She started speaking to me. She was very angry. She was saying that I'm a married woman. Why can't I stay at home and take care of my family and build my home?
He was trying to protect you.
Is the audacity for me?
Yeah, like
the audacity.
I had to
Audacity,
post it on my
yes.
blog. Like,
Wow.
I had to post it on my blog. It is high time that women, married or not,
Yes.
they need to start doing things for themselves. In short, I don't feel it is right for a lady to get married to a man without doing anything.
Yes.
It is very wrong. In fact, I think that is the proper time to know if the guy will be supportive or not. Because when you are not doing anything and you get married, you won't know until you are inside the marriage. So it is high time that females start doing things. They have to break that scatter it. Anyhow they want to do that stereotype, it has to end. True, because women go through a lot, especially those ones that are not strong enough. Because me, I don't care. That is how I have built my life. Like, I don't care what you say. You don't pay my bills, and the person I'm married to is not complaining. That is how I just built my life. If not, they talk so much. Like, I'm so sure even when this interview is out, if they see, they still talk. They'll say, why is she there? Like, why can't I just be at home and not just do anything?
Be that African woman.
And it's very wrong, really. In short, most of my workers are married women. If you're not even married, I will not even hire you.
Wow.
Because seriously, yes,
That's
because I want
another
people to
stereotype.
start knowing
That's
that
another
married women need to start doing something.
That's
Instead of just staying at home and depending on the man so much. The man can still provide.
Yes.
But you see, it's not just about your immediate family. You have family, your extended family. You can
Yes.
provide for them while your husband provides for the immediate family. So It has to stop.
That's amazing. Well, of course, since from our discussion so far, we've come to the conclusion that we are not typical African women. I need a pictorial representation of what you think a modern African woman is. How would you describe a modern African woman? What do you see for us?
A modern African woman is a woman that is doing her thing. Like I always say, you can find balance in everything. So what happens if you're actually an entrepreneur or a working class lady, a wife, a mom, and still killing all of these things? Why do you have to be tied to a particular thing? Okay, so if okay, let me get married and what am I doing at home? What exactly? The children will go to school, I mean. So I'm supposed to be doing, I was about to say, but I didn't want to cut her short when she was like, you're supposed to be home. Everybody's just like, why is she there? She should be where? No,
it's a good question.
I'm at home now. What am I doing at home?
That's true.
Because if it's like, okay, do chores, cook, how many minutes will it take to do that? Yeah. So yes, I think the typical, woman should be someone that is allowed to do what she pleases. By doing what she pleases, I mean, if she has a career goal, everybody has their own goals. Don't restrict people to doing certain things because you feel like it's not good for them. So she should be able to stand on her own, do her own thing, still take care of her family. Of course, it's stressful. It's not supposed to be easy. There is nothing that isn't stressful, no matter how little. And that's where balance comes in. So yes, she'll always find a way, like you said, strong. Strong is not just a word for, okay, let's make you look good. Like, it takes a lot to be a strong person. So finding a balance in everything. Like, I used to tell my friend, I feel like I'm a girl that can do it all. By doing it all, you can excel in the office, in the business, in your family, like anything that you want to do. That's basically it for me. Like, not having certain stereotypes and restrictions that make you, like, you want to do something and it's like, what will people say? Society doesn't allow this. It's not even for me. Basically.
That's why I say it has to do with the individual. Like, there are some. I think one of the richest women in Africa, Alakija.
Yes.
I'm so sure that by now, over the years, they'll say a girl should not go to school. Like they make the females feel inferior. But it is high time that they start setting goals that will even scare them. But with determination, they can achieve it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Really amazing.
So speaking further, we know that women are known for their multitasking and compassionate abilities. What are those things that a single working woman can do that a career African mom can't do?
I don't think there's anything one person can do that the other can't.
Okay.
Honestly.
So like from what I'm getting, it's just, even as a single working lady, there's really no such thing as a big change that happens once you get married. It's more or less like just a smooth transition. Was that how it was for you?
I got married when I was in school. So I cannot really say, and I feel, okay, I know that I got married to a very supportive person because I have friends that even when they got married in school, they had to stop schooling because of the man. Yes. Wow. But mine was so supportive. So I think it has to do with the fact that females should, the truth of the matter is that so many men are domineering and they want to take charge. Like they want you to be, they are the boss. So you have to listen to them. And if they feel threatened by your success, it is either you leave the marriage or you do their bidding. Yeah. So you just have to, while you are pursuing your career, thinking of settling down, you think of a guy that will be so kind enough to allow you pursue your dreams without stopping you in any way, like so supportive.
So while we round this up, I'm interested in one last thing. It's about this imposter syndrome thing. Because of the way women have been taught over time, we've had to break ranks to become what we are. There's this stuff where someone might praise you, like she said, you get, and you feel, oh no, I'm just trying. Does that affect you? Do you sometimes feel like you're not worthy of what you do you sometimes feel like you're not worthy of the things that people, the comments you get and all that? Do you sometimes feel that way?
Concerning that, I deal with a lot of anxiety. There are times when I just want to take breaks. I don't feel like I'm doing enough, or I'm finding it hard to even execute things that I already planned. So I'm out there and people are looking at me like, oh, this one is very strong. Wow, they're probably even having some weird comments or there's always jealousy and
Of
envy.
course, of course.
So me, I even try my best to be careful around. I don't tell people stuff until I've done it.
Yeah, very
Most of the
true.
time, my friends get upset because they're like, wow, I just saw that radio interview. Why didn't you tell me? So we'll tune in. I'm like, don't worry, I'll record it for you. You see? So I feel very paranoid sometimes. It's like when I'm alone, I'm trying to re-strategize. I'm trying to do, okay, am I good enough to do this? Is this the right thing? Am I overthinking it? There's a lot of that. I wonder what my life would have been like without anxiety. Like the things that I would have done if I didn't have to hold back on a lot of things. So yes, that's something that personally I'm working on, but I would say imposter syndrome is real. Like it's very real. It's very, very real.
The amazing thing here is that as a career mom, at the end of the day, you receive a handshake for a good work. And the same thing goes to single woman. So that's a balance.
So thank you so much, Joy. Thank you so much, Mercy, for coming up on Womanity Africa today, for coming through. We're really, really happy about that. I think it's important that you know that you're our first guest here on Womanity Africa, and you made the show amazing. You
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Don't forget you can watch Womanity Africa across all social media platforms Wednesdays on TOS Network. My name is Ruel Penal.
And I am Cynthia Ezekiel. Thanks for watching.
Do have a great day.
Thank you.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Sense on the bit.